Morning, everyone. Morning, everyone. We are ready to start. Just again, a reminder to please switch off your cell phones. Thanks.
Good morning, Ms. Good morning, Ms.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning,
Good morning,
Mr. Speaker.
Good morning, Commissioner.
And good morning, Commissioner Spees. And good morning, Commissioner Spees.
Morning, Anthony.
Commissioner Spees, I trust you still have Commissioner Spees, I trust you still have the two files in front of you. Small file and the big file. So-called small file and the big file. Can we turn to the small file?
Correct.
Can we turn to the small file, your statement? And when we parted on Friday, we had dealt with the last paragraph at page 6, at the bottom of page 6. And we ended our conversation. around the blue lights. You recall that issue?
Correct.
You recall that?
Correct.
Before we start a new topic. I thought perhaps to establish. From your experience, how prevalent is this problem of quote-unquote misuse of blue lights? Was this the sole incident? Are there other incidents you may want to bring to the attention of the Commission? Thank you.
Morning, Commissioners. Morning, Commissioners. It is definitely not the sole incident. It's still occurring. Even though I've retired from Ekurhuleni Metro Police, my old officers still have contact with me. They phoned me 2 weeks ago to explain the exact same incident where on the N12 highway a vehicle, black BMW with blue lights, was stopped by an officer. Did a radio inquiry. This officer did a radio inquiry, and after he did the radio inquiry, all went quiet. And then when they did the inquiry on the vehicle itself, the vehicle was let go. But the vehicle itself belongs to a company with the name of Calvin and Family, which is a private security firm situated in the East Rand. So this is still prevalent. It happens numerous times that it happens.
Now, that's not part of your written statement. If the Commission were to pursue that, to establish the accuracy of the report you got as regards the N12 incident, firstly, we would have to file a supplementary statement. But I guess for me, most importantly, how do we go about testing the accuracy of that statement, the report you got?
There's a radio control, the radios are monitored, there's logbooks, electronic logbooks and OB occurrence books at the radio control in Ekurhuleni, which will record all of this. And then the officers on the radio itself that heard it and that interacted with it is also be able to testify to the exactness of that.
Thank you. Is there any other incident worth noting, or is that where you end?
No, that's where I end 2 weeks ago, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Ms. Silo, will you be arranging that we at least an investigation into those documents?
Indeed, Commissioner Baloyi, we intend to. Commissioner Spees now advises that we get in touch with the Ekurhuleni Radio Control. As I understand it, the call would have been logged in the occurrence book. So ours would be to uplift the content of that report in the occurrence book, its detail, and try and locate a witness who can speak to those facts and perhaps shed more light on the incident.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What about the name of a security company was mentioned?
Yes, the name of...
Contacting that security company and finding out how it came about that they were given permission to use blue lights. My concern with approaching the municipality is that the allegations in this commission are that the municipality has not acted on many of the reports.
Yes.
And there's even frustration of the investigations within the municipality. So we might end up with a report which is incomplete.
Indeed.
Whereas if we get confirmation from the security company, at least they will be able to explain who gave them permission and under what circumstances. If indeed it's true that they are using blue lights, because we don't know that.
We don't.
Thank you.
Well, thanks, Commissioner Khumalo. We shall do so. So perhaps, in essence, we will seek to obtain two statements, one from the radio control perspective, Ekurhuleni Radio Control Office perspective, and the other from the very security company that is said to have used the blue lights on the date. So, just a last question on that. Would you have a sense of the date on which this happened?
Commissioners, I have it, but then I have to consult my phone to look specifically at the exact date. I think it's a Wednesday or Thursday, and I have got the registration number as it was reported to me.
Okay, then I don't think we have to detain the Commission with that, seeing as we will be seeking at least the statements. You will then provide us with that further detail to assist us in establishing the facts around this matter.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner, then we move on. In our statement, we're at page 7. And at page 7, you have a heading, formal investigation and Brigadier Julius Mkwanazi's involvement. And the involvement, just to locate us in where we're at, his involvement relates to the alleged use of blue lights in a private vehicle, the videos of which you flighted last week. You recall that? So if you can then take your testimony from paragraph 19 at page 7. Thank you.
So on this specific day, when I received this query and we answered this back to the media through Colonel Tipa, and I then instructed Colonel Erasmus, he is the head of internal affairs in Ekurhuleni Metro Police. I instructed him formally with a letter to say that he must initiate this misconduct inquiry because of the seriousness of this as well. I also went further to instruct him that he must not delegate it to a lower rank because it's a senior officer that is involved, that we don't have the situation where lower ranks like constables investigate seniors, managers. It could be abused in that manner. This instruction is also, it's done in writing formally. And then during that week, during that week, it was council meeting on the Thursday evening as well. And on the Tuesday morning, Commissioner Mazzolo came back from leave, and I then addressed it directly with him to say, can you please assist me in getting answers in this matter? And then he said to me, but I must contact directly Brigadier Mkwanazi because he was on leave and he doesn't know what took place. On the Thursday evening at the council meeting itself, Brigadier Mkwanazi was at the council meeting. I approached him then at the council meeting itself, where I informed him, but we have this media queries. I've sent it to you. I haven't received any answers yet. Can I please have an answer about it? He then explained to me that, but we have a formal relationship with this company, Cat VIP, where they actually assist us at all scenes, and not only us, they assist DPCI, TOMS, which is the tactical operation side of the DPCI. They assist us with information and they respond to scenes and all things like that. I said to him, but it's impossible. I don't know anything about this. I've never heard it and that. And he then stated that he will send me WhatsApps of previous successes, which will then prove that Cat VIP was involved at these incidents and crime scenes and everything. So during the council meeting when we were sitting at, he started to send me WhatsApps relating to these incidents where Cat VIP is listed then as a role player in crime scenes. And later that evening, he also then concluded that, but they were even involved in a State of the City address, which is an annual event by the cities where the mayor would produce or present the State of the City address. And in the 2022 March State of the City address, which was done by Alderman Tanya Campbell, he alleged that even in the operational plan, it's there, that CAT VIP is part of this. And I said, that doesn't sound right to me, but send me proof of that. He started to send me WhatsApps with pictures. And then I said to him later during the WhatsApp conversation, I want a plan. This is pictures. It could be photoshopped, and I don't believe in that. Send me the original plan. And later the evening, he sent me a SharePoint link, which is an email with a link that you can click on it, and then you will get to an operational plan. But it took me also to pictures of the plan itself. And then I answered him back and say, I want the operational plan, the original. Because for every operation that we conduct, there will be an operational plan which is signed off and approved, and that gets archived and kept in the records. So the very next morning, he sent an operational plan in a sealed envelope to my office. I opened this operational plan, and just by opening it and looking at the plan, it looks to me if it's uttering, if it's a Photoshop, if it's altered. The reason being is that the document itself consists of 14 pages. The first 2 to 3 pages had a smudge on the paper as if it was printed on an old cartridge, like makes a faint mark on the papers.
Commissioner Spies, if I may, I do apologize. The detail you are providing, in particular on that document, I think would be best served by going to the actual document. So if we could wait, you deal with that further on in your statement. We will wait and get to that annexure, and then you will take the commissioners through the issues you had with that particular operational plan that Mr. Mkwanazi provided you with. For the moment, though, I would like to refer you to your paragraph 19. You deal there with an annexure RS7. And this, according to your...
Just before you do that, I don't know if you were listening, Commissioner, when Chief Mapia was testifying.
No, I didn't, Commissioner.
Okay. Sorry. I corrected him on the pronunciation of Ulu. He pronounced it Ulu. So I want to correct you as well. You repeatedly talk of Makwanazi. There is no A right at the beginning of that first syllable. The A is after the H, so it's Mkwanazi, not Makwanazi.
I have to apologize.
So I have to be fair in insisting on the correct pronunciation. So I should not correct only Chief Mapia, I should correct you as well.
I have to apologize, Commissioner.
Mkwanazi, it's very easy. Yes, easy. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I'd referred you to RS7, Annexure RS7, that's to be found at page 11 in the annexure file. Now, at your paragraph 19, you say this was the letter of instruction you issued to Lieutenant Colonel Erasmus to investigate the matter. Are you at RS7?
Correct, Commissioner.
Just to confirm a few things, it is dated at the bottom thereof, 2nd of February 2023, and against that date is the name Arspis with a signature. Arspis refers to yourself, and that is your signature, you confirm?
That's correct.
And directed from, we see from the top of the page, to H.J. Erasmus, Lieutenant Colonel.
That's correct.
And you indicated that when you issued this letter, as the letter itself states, you were then the acting police commissioner.
That's correct, Commissioner.
I would like to refer you to midway that page. There are 2 headings. The second is a description of accusation. Could you read the first paragraph into the letter, into the record?
It was reported that Brigadier J.D. Mkwanasi appointed CAT VIP services on an official document. Vehicles was registered on the City of Ekurhuleni name. It was further alleged that Brigadier J.D. Mkwanasi appointed individuals to work with EMPD. These and other conduct need to be investigated accordingly, including other facts that may be discovered during the investigation, and any other conduct that you may determine during this investigation.
And with the issue and service of that letter on Colonel Erasmus? Thank you. With the issue of that letter and service on Colonel Erasmus, that was the trigger of the formal investigation within EMPD.
That's correct, Commissioners.
You then move on to, there's a paragraph 21.
Before you
Yes.
do that, Mr. Let me just ask about this relating to the same letter. Commissioner, we had evidence from Chief Mapie that at some point he was instructed by the city manager to discontinue disciplinary proceedings. Now, against Brigadier Mkhwanazi. Now, in paragraph 1 of this letter, you say, in terms of clause 7 to the disciplinary procedure collective agreement, I, the authorized representative, do hereby appoint you as the investigating officer. You must investigate the allegation as per the accusation of misconduct. It's that first sentence that I'm interested in, which is, you are the authorized representative in terms of clause 7 to us, where the power, in terms of that disciplinary procedure collective agreement, where the power to institute disciplinary processes lies, according to that collective agreement.
Commissioner, for all local government, there is a bargaining council where collective agreements are reached with, which is represented by SALGA, which is the South African Local Government Association, and organised labour, which is IMATU and SAMBO as the two organised labours. Collective agreements is through the years then obviously reached there and signed and agreed upon. And those collective agreements, this specific collective agreement is an old collective agreement that's just been extended continuously. In terms of that, the actual disciplinary proceedings and authorized representative is the accounting officer, which is the city manager in this case. However, she has delegated at that stage when this letter was issued, the delegation was issued to the heads of department, which is the chief of police for Metro Police. And it was also then that further disciplinary steps to appoint the presiding and the presenting officers was vested in formal delegation from her office to the head of employee relations. It's a divisional head, which at that stage was Tlolani and Ngisa. He was appointed as the disciplinary representative. So to initiate investigations in the department in terms of this agreement, vested in the heads of department. Once the investigation has reached a state where there's prima facie evidence, the chief of police will then hand over the complete dossier with an instruction to the DHER, employee relations, and there is then two methods of concluding it. The one is what we call, it's an informal process, and there's a formal process. Informal is for petty matters. A person arrived late for work, and it will be dealt with within the department, and the presiding and the presenting officer for the disciplinary case will be internal officers that will deal with it because it's petty. However, when it's highly technical or when it is a very serious matter that could lead to dismissal, then it will be handed over to the division employee relations, which is situated within the human resource department.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Ms. Silo.
Thank you, Commissioner Baloyi. I was taking you to your next annexure, which you deal with at paragraph 21. And this annexure you term WhatsApp messages between yourself and Brigadier Mkhwanazi after you had approached him on this matter. Now, the RS8 starts at your page 12. We don't have to read the content unless there is something in particular you would like to draw the Commissioner's attention to. But you could just help us understand how to read Annexure 12. Thank you. Annexure 8, I apologize.
Yes. Commissioners, this is an export from my WhatsApp chats with Brigadier Mkhwanazi, then Brigadier Mkhwanazi, who is now a Deputy Chief, Acting Chief Mkhwanazi. It starts off, obviously, when we started, like 2017, but if you go to page 14 in the middle of the page, there's a break where it was a report of cable theft and then a list of that, and then immediately thereafter it says 2023-0202-2049. This is where Julius Mkhwanazi then sent to me a series of WhatsApp that says success report, and then there's a break in it because it is old WhatsApps, which is 2022-12-21, Mafolo, Soweto, Johannesburg. It's an old WhatsApp that he has forwarded to me. And it starts off with units involved, and then it's listing DPCI TOMS, saturation unit, bad boy security, and then a hyphen space, and then cat VIP security. And it's about a hit on a taxi chairman of Nanduwe. And the next, that list and everything that was a success at that specific incident. And then on 2322 on the next page, page 15, it again lists Julius Mkonasi operational success, and then it lists 21222 Ortia cargo section, Kempton Park. Ortia is the abbreviation for OR Tambo International Airport, and cargo section is the northern portion of it where we have gates that where cargo can go in and out. And there it lists then 11 suspects arrested, 3 unlicensed firearms, 33 unlicensed live ammunition, 8-ton truck with false plates. And then again the units involved. It says Hawks, TOMS, Tactical Operations Management Solution, STF, which is the Special Task Force, CAT VIP Security, Bad Boy Security, K9 Law Enforcement, and then list the report. So this was a set of WhatsApps that he then forwarded to me to say, but here's proof that we have worked with specifically CAT VIP.
Thank you. You do deal with the 2 documents, the Memoranda of Understanding.
So, Ms. Lee, if you're moving, can I just ask for clarification here?
Indeed.
Commissioner, so looking at that page 14, you've got the DPCI TOMS saturation unit, bad boy security, and then you've got CAT VIP security. And then you've given us that list again at page 15, which now has in it the STF and the K9. I'm trying to understand what it is that Brigadier Mkhwanazi was conveying to you. Was he saying to you that CAT VIP were involved as listed here at the invitation or assisting the EMPD? That's why they were involved here? Or that's the one possibility. The other is they came in as an independent party, not invited by the EMPD, but used by whether it's DPCI TOMS or somebody else. What in fact was he conveying to you?
Commissioner, from what I understood was the query and the questions was about CAT VIP security specifically from the media. And the way I asked him as well is, why is this company involved here? And then his words when he spoke to me was that, but this company has been involved with us. They're assisting us, there's MOUs between us, and they are working with us. And here's proof that they are actually at crime scenes where EMPD is also present, and then give successes back of that.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms.
Thank you, Commissioner Baloyi. We will get to the Memoranda of Understanding that were ostensibly concluded between Ekurhuleni and CAT VIP. But for the moment, just to let you know that Chief Mappier did testify on these documents. And according to our records, those memoranda were concluded in October 2021. Is that your recollection as well?
The purported,
no,
it wasn't concluded.
Thank you for the correction. Were signed by Brigadier Mkhwanazi in October 2021.
Correct.
Okay. Now, I ask because at page 14, what he highlights, and the part that you drew our attention to, as well as page 15, these are incidents that arose in 2023 and both 2023 and in February, where he claims that there have been these deployments of VIP CAT security.
The first one that he sent is in 2022, December. The second one is October 2022. And then the third one is February 2023.
Okay. Now, Chief Mappier informed us that Ekurhuleni, EMPD issues public tenders for provision of security services to EMPD facilities. You are aware of that?
Correct. It's for security guards to protect council premises.
And he drew the commissioner's attention to the fact that in 2020, the EMPD appointed 10 service providers for that purpose and provided a list. And for the record, that will be Chief Mapiea's Annexure JM 13 and JM 14. So there is a list of service providers.
Correct, Commissioners. There's in terms of the MFMA, the Finance Management Act, there's every 3 years a tender that is published and then awarded to security companies to protect council premises. And the tender runs in a 3-year cycle.
Yes. Looking then at page 14, you are given in details by Brigadier Mkwanazi regarding the engagement of entities such as Bad Boys Security. And unless it goes by another name, you can accept that according to JM 13, tendered by Chief Mapieye, that entity is not one of the 10 listed there. Do you know who Bad Boys Security is or was at the time?
Bad Boy Security is a security company which I know of them. They're in Johannesburg and a little bit on the East Rand as well. I don't know further than that. I know them. It's like a private security company that I sometimes see their vehicles. And Cat VIP Security at that date and time, I didn't know them at all. I know them now.
Okay, and equally so with Cat VIP Security, they don't appear on that list.
Correct. They're not part of Bad Boys or Cat VIP Security is not one of the tender-approved security companies for guarding services at all.
No, there is a reference as well to saturation unit. What is that?
I don't know all the abbreviations. I would believe that this is a South African Police Services unit belonging to either the DPCI, TOMS, Hawk. I don't know what the saturation unit in the South African Police Services. It's not one of our units. We don't have a unit like that in Ekurhuleni Metro Police.
Okay. Then at page 15, you referred us to page 15, that date entry 2023-0202. And then it's got another date below that, 02-12-2022, the Otia cargo section, and the units involved. Is it a correct way to read those messages to mean that the units involved listed there at page 15 under the date 02-12-22 were involved in the Otia cargo section issue, whatever that may have been? Am I reading it correctly?
Correct. It's in terms of the success report. It's first stated in the first paragraphs with the red bullets. It's black here, but on my WhatsApps it's red bullets. It states what was found back, what was arrested, and then it says units involved, and it lists the units. And then it will state in the report what actually have happened. They were robbing Swissport cargo section. That's what it is.
So you say this incident related to a robbery of the Swissport section at the airport at Otia?
Correct.
Then I understand that the units involved were Hawks Toms Tactical Operations Management Solution, STF Special Task Force, CAT VIP Security, Bad Boys Security, K9 Law Enforcement. You see that at the bottom of page 15.
Correct, Commissioner.
Is it a correct interpretation on my part to say all those units were involved in dealing with that Swissport robbery, resulting in the arrest of 11 suspects, finding 3 firearms, and all that is listed there? So CAT Security was part of that operation.
That is what.
Is that how you too understood it?
That's how I understood it, and it's sometimes it's even strange to me is that all these units are involved, and it's sent to me from Brigadier Mkwanazi as if it is Ekurhuleni Metro Police that is running the show. But we are not even listed there. So it's to me, it feels as if he just took stuff wherever the word Cat VIP came on and sent it on to me to say, but look, here we are working with them. But we are not even listed on that scene, even though it's in our area on that.
By we, I take it, it's reference to EMPD.
Sorry, Commissioners, it's force of habit. If I'm speaking about it, it's Ekurhuleni Metro Police.
And Commissioner, the first one is not even in your area. I understand the other three are within Ekurhuleni, but chasing a suspected hitman in Mufulwa, Soweto, on page 14, the very first entry. What does that have to do with the MPD?
Commissioner, that is one of the rogueness that hopefully I will touch on later, is that in terms of the South African Police Services Act, Section 64, we as Metro Police is established and we have a specific mandate, which is traffic enforcement, bylaw enforcement and crime prevention. That's the main mandate. But we are further also restricted to our area of jurisdiction to the local government that has appointed us, except there's a clause that also allows us, if there's collaboration agreements or there's agreements with other cities, that we can extend upon request to those areas. But a large portion of what these groups did is that they were actually operating rogue. They would hear a rumor here or information here, and they will go and do law enforcement, arrest people in Hammanskraal. They will go to KZN. They will go to Free State. They will actually arrest, and it will all be good successes according to them because there's arrest in that. But they acted completely out of scope. They do criminal investigations, which is the sole capability of the South African Police Service. They have no powers to do criminal investigations at all, but they were doing it.
Thank you, Commissioner Khumalo. Taking you back to page 15, that OR Tambo incident that is referenced there. For the record, OR Tambo Airport falls within the jurisdiction of Ekurhuleni. So if there was anything that required Metro Police involvement, that would fall under the jurisdiction of EMPD. Is that correct?
Correct, Commissioners, but we will assist the South African Police Service if they ask us. If it's in our area, we will assist them with whatever they ask us to do within our area.
So you say EMPD would assist. If you go to the bottom of page 15 then, and the list, the units listed there, as I said, it's Hawks, Toms, Special Task Force, Cat VIP Security, Bad Boys, K9 Law Enforcement. There are 5 units, ostensibly, that were involved. Which police service or force or unit would actually have been responsible or initiated this engagement at Otia? I'm trying to understand because I see 2 Cat VIP, Bad Boys Security, sounds like private companies. I see Hawks, Toms Tactical Operation Management Solution. Then there's the Special Task Force reference and the K9 Law Enforcement referenced. Who, in your understanding, was responsible for that operation? Which of these units, if any?
From my understanding, how it works is that the Hawks, the tactical operation, would actually be the one who do the operational plan and manage and control it. And the STF, if it's the South African, and I don't know if it's the South African Special Task Force, but if it is the South African Special Task Force because of the high risk involved, they would operate obviously based on the operational plan that was drawn up and managed by Hawks. And they will do the dangerous work of doing the rest and that. But the planning and everything would be resorting under the Hawks.
Now, if we accept that this was a Hawks Toms operation supported by the Special Task Force, beyond that, it's K9 Law Enforcement. Is that an EMPD unit or is that
I do not
provincial,
know.
national?
No, Commissioners, I don't know. If it's stated K9 Law Enforcement, it could be anyone. It could be Ekurhuleni Metro Police. It could be SAPS. I wouldn't know who that is because nowhere in that whole report does it actually list if it was Ekurhuleni's K9 or if it was SAPS K9. It is not listed.
Then it leaves the other 2, Cat VIP and Bad Boys. How does this become an operation that falls under Ekurhuleni? When you say it, at best, it was an operation by Hawks Toms, which is not an Ekurhuleni unit, that perhaps would be a national unit. I don't see how Ekurhuleni gets involved in this operation based on the entities listed there. Are you able to shed light?
Commissioners, from what I understand from what's standing here is that Cat VIP and Bad Boy Security as the private security could have been the informants, or they could have received the information, and they therefore are assisting the Hawks to actually do the operation because they have access maybe to Swissport Cargo or to the information where it was. So from my understanding from what's standing here is that Cat VIP and Bad Boy Security is involved with the Hawks, they are supporting them, and that the SDF is obviously necessary because it's a high-risk robbery that's going to take place. That's my understanding from this. The K9 law enforcement, I wouldn't know who it was. It could be Ekurhuleni. It could also, because it's a year before it even happened, and this was just sent as WhatsApps, which I didn't really even care about it. It was like someone made them up just to send to me to say, yes, here is successes to prove that we do work with Cat VIP.
And this is supposed to have happened on the 2nd of December 2022. You were still with EMPD at the time?
It's correct, Commissioner. It's 2 December.
And at the time, what position did you hold in EMPD again?
I was then the Deputy Chief of Police, Auxiliary and Support Services. I was appointed 1 August 2022 in that post, so Deputy Police Commissioner there.
Now, could we turn to you to find out whether there is a record of an operation such as described in that WhatsApp that the EMPD was responsible for, or who do we turn to try and get an answer to that?
Only from the Hawks. If it's a police operation like this where the Hawks and the STF is, it will be a SAPS-driven operational plan, even if we were there, even though we're not mentioned here at all. Even if we were there, we would do a supporting role to SAPS, fully supporting role, not even at the front line.
So then if we were to pursue this operation and see the involvement of everyone in it, we need to turn to Hawks Toms. You can't help us beyond that.
Correct.
Thank you. Noted.
May I just check this, Commissioner? If this were in the nature, or rather on the face of these operations as they are described here, it doesn't look like anything that would be initiated and run by the EMPD. They would have been playing a supportive role, as you explained. And given that Brigadier Mkonazi, when he sent this to you, your understanding of what he was conveying was that Cat VIP were there to assist EMPD. You've testified that the security companies are appointed to secure the property of the municipality. Would it have been proper and open to EMPD to invite Madlanga VIP, Cat VIP security into an operation where the EMPD has been asked by, let's say, the Hawks or SAPS to come and assist them?
No, Commissioner, that would be completely out of bounds and out of script. No outsiders get invited into an operation where we are already, even if we are with SAPS, it just leads to leak of information and anything. So we wouldn't invite, if the SAPS and the Hawks is in charge of operation, there's an operational plan which is driven by them. If we are then invited to assist them, we assist them. We cannot carry on and invite more people. It just opens up and it makes a farcical of policing when information is being leaked all over the show to everyone. And we would not, at the bottom end, when we do patrols, we have friendly relationships with the security companies that is in our same areas that we patrol. So it's not that we don't know they are there. We do work together. If they say, for instance, to us, but there's a robbery at one of my clients' house around the corner, we will obviously assist and respond there. Or if they arrest someone and they contact us, we will go and assist them. But we don't have formal approved operations or MOUs with security companies as Ekurhuleni at all. We only have this 10 companies that's annually or every 3 years appointed to protect our guarding and our premises that we have, not to do patrols and provide extra services to us and do anything security related.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thanks, Mr.
Thank you, Commissioner Baloyi. Thank you for walking us through that annexure, Commissioner Spears. We then move to your paragraph 21. No, we're still at your paragraph 21 because you reference another annexure there. And that annexure, you say that Brigadier Mkwanazi, and I'm reading from your statement, quote, also stated that CAT VIP had provided protection for the mayor and for the proceedings during the State of the City addressed by Alderman Tanya Campbell in 2022. Do you see where I'm reading?
Correct, Commissioner.
And for that purpose, you say he sent photos and shared a SharePoint link of the operational plan in respect of that event. You overleaf at paragraph 22, then have a heading analysis of the MOU and operational plan. I would like us to park, you have annexed the operational plan as annexure RS9 capital A. It's in the annexure file. But when you turn over, you start with the MOUs. So we're going to follow the structure of your statement and start with the MOUs, and then we'll come back to annexure RSA 9. Do you understand my logic?
Correct, Commissioner.
Thank you. Let's turn then to page 8. At page 8, paragraph 22, you highlight what the investigations revealed, and you reference the two documents which we have annexed as RS10 and RS11. Could you take the commissioners through that? Thank you.
Commissioners, they were sent via email, and what is attached here too as well is the two MOUs which was drafted between the first one, which is on page 25, RS10, is listing a MOU or agreement between Medicare 24 Emergency Medical Services and UBIS Protection Services, which is duly represented by Mike van Wyk. And that is then on page 30. It is signed off by Brigadier Mkwanazi, Director Specialized Services. And it's as if it's dated October 2021. If you look at the date just above his signature, that says effective date, and it leaves a day open, but it's month 10, October, and 2021 is the year, and then it's got open years at the end. That was the first version that was submitted. Then the second version is a very similar memorandum of agreement, but this time it is with CAT VIP protection, which is on page 32. And this MOU is then also signed on page 34. It ends the same thing as that, effective date, and then a 10/2021, just fill in a date. It's also under support by JD Mkwanazi, and it's then dated with a date handwritten in as 13 October 2021.
Commissioner Spears, my apologies. Commissioners, just to orientate you, those are the same documents that Chief Mapie submitted as JM11 and JM12 respectively. Thank you. You may proceed, Commissioner.
The one thing that I want to highlight on this first one with Medicare 24 is that if on page 30, and I've actually, maybe Advocate Defensie, if we can just highlight that specific paragraph, because when we start the investigation, this paragraph jumped out at us to say, but yes, vehicles that's being registered onto our name from a private firm or security company that we will use. But this paragraph is completely against any police training, knowledge that I have, is that, and maybe if I can read that into record, is that EMPD will assist with registration of vehicles under EMPD as official vehicles, and we will be permitted to use blue and red lights to respond for and on behalf of EMPD. The cost of this will be for Medicare 24 and Bus Protection Services. That's as if we outsource law enforcement now to a private company, to say you will respond on my behalf, you will actually act as a policeman. That's what this MOU purport to be. And that's why when I read this, it is so wrong that every fiber in my body jumps up to say, but this is wrong. There's something horribly wrong in this matter. And that's why the registration of the vehicles that is on our name actually red flagged. And the investigation initially say, but here is something much deeper and it's very wrong. And that's why we start with the disciplinary inquiry, misconduct investigation.
Commissioner, I think what you read has been put up on the screen just for reference point or reference purposes. That is Annexure RS10. And that is the memorandum of agreement allegedly between Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Police Department and Medicare 24. And just to confirm that at our paginated page 30 of the bundle, that is where you read from. There are 5 bullet points on that page. But if you go a step back, or a page back at page 29, it would appear it's part of a list of what is termed understandings.
Correct, Commissioners.
So the part you read is the last bullet point of these quote-unquote understandings as they appear at page 30.
That's correct. The page 29 will deal with what Medicare 24 will provide.
Yes.
And then page 30 deals with what Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department will provide.
Thank you. Noted. You may proceed. We have now dealt with RS10.
Can I just ask this? Commissioner, that paragraph that you read into the record, it makes reference to red lights. Can you just explain what is this within the EMPD?
Commissioner, the lights, as I've stated earlier, in terms of the National Road Traffic Act, specific lights have specific meanings. A blue light is always law enforcement of those entities that may have them, South African Police Service, the SANDF military police, the traffic and the municipal police. Those are the ones that may use blue lights. Red lights, in terms of the law, must be used by medical practitioners, which is a paramedic or ambulance responding to a scene. That is the use of red lights. Amber lights is then for construction work and that. And green lights is civil defense when a person responds to a civil defense light for a green light. So red lights in this manner is, we do not have red lights. As Ekurhuleni Metro Police, we do not have. But there is sometimes a municipal police department that combine the use of police and paramedics, for instance, in a city, and then when you have a combined, even South African Police Service, when you have a combined service where there's paramedics in the vehicle plus there's policemen in the vehicle, you will use a combination of blue and red in the vehicles. But if it's purely police, it will be blue. If it's purely ambulance or medical services, it will be red.
And you're saying Ekurhuleni doesn't have this combined?
We do not have combined at all. We are a Metro Police Department consisting purely of a Metro Police Department. There is a disaster management and emergency services section which use fire engines and used to have ambulances. They would use red.
And Brigadier Mkhwanazi would know that you don't have this combined service, and so he wasn't authorized to permit use of red lights.
Correct,
Is that
Commissioner.
something he would know?
Correct, Commissioner.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Commissioner Kumar.
On page 29 still, items 4 and 5. Just reading those two items, it seems to me that it wasn't just law enforcement and blue lights that were being outsourced. Even health and legal services were now being outsourced to CAT, at least to Medicare 24, not CAT Protection Services. just reading item 4 and 5.
Indeed, Commissioner.
Commissioner, do you want to
can-
read those into the record? We don't have to deal with them.
I can, Commissioner.
It's at page 29, under the heading Understandings.
So,
What Commissioner Khumalo is referring us to is the numbered items 1 to 7, and he's asking you to read into the record. Is it 4 and 5, Commissioner? 4 and 5, thank you.
its understandings, by signing this MOU, Medicare 24 Emergency Services agrees to, number 1, first project will be a trial run.
Sorry, Commissioner, I apologize, I was unclear. Commissioner Khumalo would like you to read items 4, listed 4 and 5, and leave the others in that list.
4 and 5.
4 and 5, please.
Can I read 6 as well?
Then you can read 6 for you as well, thank you.
Can you read 7 as well? Please.
Then please read from 4 till 7. Chair, any particular request? No. 4 to 7, thank you.
I will explain why 6 when I get to 6. Medicare 24 Anubis Protection Services can assist when needed. All members are registered with PSIRA and are issued firearms through our VIP protection unit that are owned by Medicare 24 Holdings. 5, the CEO's health qualifications and legal degree can assist when needed in an event of a drug bust, and I can give legal advice when needed. 6, Medicare 24 can assist with drawing bloods in roadblocks for you, and staff will be available. And this I just want to pause and explain why, is that when we as road traffic enforcement, part of our mandate do in terms of the National Road Traffic Act, there's a prescription that you can either draw blood or that you can do a breathalyzer test, but blood is the most known at the moment. But the Criminal Procedure Act goes further to say when you draw blood, it must be by a registered medical practitioner. And that is sometimes misunderstood. It's not just any nurse on the street that can draw your blood. It's a registered medical practitioner, meaning it must be a doctor with with a medical qualification and registered as such, and it must be a registered nurse with a health profession. So this can assist with drawing blood. Maybe that's to hold the patient down, but you cannot draw blood if you're not, in terms of the Criminal Procedure Act, a registered medical practitioner. And then 7 is Medicare 24 can also manage your workman's compensation injuries on duty. That is also a very contentious issue because we're an employer and we're registered with the Compensation Commissioner, and the Compensation Commissioner deals with it, and we have staff on board that actually deals with our workman compensation within the department. It is not dealt with by outsiders in Ekurhuleni at all.
Thank you, Commissioners. So I think it was Commissioner Baloyi who made the point that according to this document, it was Commissioner Khumalo, technically this entity was taking over all the services provided by EMPD and acting for and on behalf of EMPD if they were to be followed. Is that your sense as well?
That's only if this was ever approved and signed. This will never pass a proper legal department or through a scrutiny.
Did you ever get to establish, and you read this into the record on that list, item 5, I understand that the CEO, and we're talking here of Medicare 24 Emergency Services, he has got health qualifications and legal degree, and was offering to assist when required in an event of a drug bust, and she can give legal advice where needed. Did you get to know, firstly, what legal advice during a drug bust did you understand this to mean that he could provide help on?
This is a laughing matter if I actually read this, and I'm looking at it from a police perspective. We are a formal city with a formal legal department, and even in terms of policies and procedures within a council, any employee, if you need legal advice, or any department, if you need legal advice, it will go through your legal department, and that legal department will give legal advice. If they're not in a position to give it for whatever reason, whatever matter, they will use contracted, proper SC or legal advice from outside. But on a scene itself, from a foreigner, from a strange person getting legal advice, that it just doesn't work like that in any law enforcement environment where we arrive on a scene and someone else from a private sector arrives there and says, let me give you legal advice. It will actually, and genuinely, if I'm there as a policeman and someone gives me legal advice on a scene, he will most probably be arrested for obstructing justice because he's interfering in my scene.
Okay. Point taken.
That is also assuming they do hold qualifications to advise, to give legal advice, right?
Yeah, that I cannot confirm. I
don't
don't
know if
I don't know this company.
If Mr. Van Wyk is a lawyer, what lawyer, and that he's a doctor, and what doctor. We don't know that.
The only way, if the Medicare 24 and this person, Mike Van Wyk, the only way I know about him is rumors that he used to work for Boksburg Traffic Department in their paramedic health environment very, very long ago, before we became even a city. I don't know if he in the meantime studied and became a lawyer or anything. I just don't know him at all.
Thank you. But it would appear not only a lawyer, he's got health qualifications. I don't know if I'm assuming too much that it is he qualified as a doctor and then he's got legal qualifications. So we take it at face value. We would accept that he is a highly qualified person.
Yeah, but I don't know that, Commissioner.
I know. Thank you. Moving then to the next MOU, you deal with that again at paragraph 22.3, and that is RS 11. Is there anything in particular you'd like to draw the Commissioner's attention to, insofar as that particular MOU is concerned?
This MOU differs just that it is with CAT VIP security, which I've never heard before. And then on page 33, it states a specific list that this MOU will pertain to, where they will provide us with vehicles. Understandings from their side in the middle of the page. And by signing this Memorandum of Understanding, CAT VIP Protection agrees to 1.1, provide the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department with the following. 1.1.1, 2 BMW motor vehicles. 1.1.2, 1 Mercedes-Benz motor vehicle. 1.1.3, 1 Volkswagen Golf motor vehicle, which makes a total of 4 vehicles. It also then goes to 1.2 to provide the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department with a helicopter with which the department will fly for a maximum of 2 hours per month when needed for operations, and to assist the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department with VIP protection services, skills transfers, and tactical training. And then 1.4, ensure that CAT VIP staff that may be required to be part of any operation to carry out any task is well-trained, proficient, has the necessary qualification or permit as required by the law of the Republic of South Africa to carry out such tasks. And then on page 34, it's the commitments from Ekurhuleni Police. They forgot the Metro there, but the Ekurhuleni Police Department is that we agree to 2.1 to dedicate a duty officer, community relations to focus on crime prevention and community safety in and around the Ekurhuleni Metro, and to report those who attempt to who have committed crimes of any nature, be it on the roads, in commercial or residential settlements, both in urban, semi-urban, semi-rural and rural settlements of the Ekurhuleni Metro. And just for pausing there, is that now it sounds like the Metro Police must report crime to a private company, whereas crime is the sole purveyor of law. We must actually report crime to SAPS and not to a private company at all. 2.2, the on-duty officer shall serve as a liaison to community officer EMPD in order to facilitate access to appropriate management and community resources. And 2.3, make the operational duty officer available to work in partnership with CAT VIP protection staff that may be called upon to assist in special operations. So it sounds as if we are really abdicating or giving everything away to a private company to become the Metro Police on our behalf.
Thank you for that.
Sorry, Mr.
Yes, Chair.
May I request that whether over the tea break or maybe even lunch, Ms. Bushla said he should look at my annexures. You'll find an annexure, maybe RS10, running across more than one flag. And it's the same with RS11, so it makes it very difficult for me to follow, to read properly.
It is true, Chair, and I apologize for that. I don't know how it happened. Just to check with the other commissioners that they don't have the problem. It's only you, Chair. We will attend to it immediately during tea, Chair. My apologies.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner, what you have just read now into the record, appearing at page 34, it is the second last page of that annexure, which we have on record as annexure RS11. I'm particularly interested in item 2.3, and I want to test if you could help me to have better understanding of what was intended by that. And I quote, make the operational duty officer available to work in partnership with CAT VIP protection staff that may be called upon to assist in special operations. I struggle to understand. Are you able to help me perhaps through your understanding as to what that could potentially mean?
Commissioner, I can read the words, but I don't understand the context of it. I must upfront say is that how it feels to me initially is that when the query came in 2023 February from the journalist, I was immediately when I saw this, it was as if in my mind this was created that stage to actually try to answer the media query that arose in February 23, is that there is not genuinely a 2021 attempt or a genuine attempt to make it. It's as if the wording here, because of that paragraph in Medicare is one that says we're going to register the vehicles for them and then we're going to abdicate to them and say do everything on behalf of law enforcement, and then here's the vehicles registered in 23 to us. So initially my belief was this is generated stuff to actually make up and answer the media query about the blue lights. But obviously in hindsight I've also seen, but there have been, these MOUs have been in existence for a long period before the time, but it has been drafted and drawn up by, in my mind, and it's sometimes I shouldn't say it, but it's illiterate people that doesn't know how to type MOUs. It's completely wrong. Everything in here